Hi, so this is going to be some secret of playing acoustic blues. You've probably watched the Jimi Hendrix acoustic blues. You want to learn how to play like that. I'm not going to tell you how to play that song, but I'm going to talk about some tricks, throwing some other tricks in, and how you can get your acoustic blues going like Jimi Hendrix, and not exactly like him, but flowing from the same river. So the first move we're going to learn, we're going to call this exercise number 1 here. Start by hitting the low E string open. That is the first note. The second note is the 3rd fret of the low E string. So we have 1, 2. On beat 3 I'm going to push, this is the 2nd fret of the D string. And this is the 1st fret of the G string. 1, 2, this is the 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string on the 1st fret. The 2nd string on the D string. That's going to happen on beat 3, and beat 4 I'm going to have the G on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, the low E again. So I have 1, maybe a little bit of bend, not too much. I'm bending too much already on the video. So open, low E string, 3rd fret of the low E string, 2nd fret and 1st fret, 2nd fret on the 4th string, 1st fret on the 3rd string together, and then the 3rd fret. Now, one of the important things is that the chord is happening on beat 3, and the emphasis is more on beat 3 than on beat 1. That's part of getting this. Something that I'm, a real quick thing that I'm playing this chord, and then I'm just hitting the open D and G, the same strings that I'm hitting. So that's the first thing that you want to mess around with. The second move is I'm going to be on I have the open E, which I'm going to hit. This is the 3rd fret of the B string, and this is the 4th fret of the 3rd string, the G string. You've probably seen this chord. So what we're going to do here, we're going to move this chord down and then actually back up. And that's how we're going to, now normally the old move is to move it all the way down to here, moving it, sliding it down. Now I'm on the 3rd fret and the 2nd fret. Now I'm on the 2nd fret and the 1st fret. And then going to, this is the 1st fret of the G. Maybe hammering onto that note. So that's the old Robert Johnson move from Sweet Home Chicago. Pretty sure it's from that song, and from probably some other songs. I don't know, Robert Johnson might not have made it up, but that's the earliest reference I know. So whatever. Going back, defending myself. Okay, so we're going to go sliding down to the 2nd fret, and then back to the 3rd fret. So you want to kind of get good at that. A variation of doing that is to also have, this is the 4th fret of the E string, including, so I have 4th fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, and I can do that. I can also take this down and do that move that I was talking about. Now this is, that's probably getting more into the jazz context, doing 4th fret, 3rd fret, and 2nd fret. So I wouldn't really do that in this style. Okay, so that's example number 2. Now we're going to combine example number 1 and example number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm doing open E, 3rd fret, chord, 1st fret on the G, 3rd fret on the D, G, open E again, then I'm doing 3rd fret on the B, 4th fret on the G, sliding down, back. And then you can kind of funk around with that a little bit. I also added just hitting the open E and the B together, so that was that extra thing that I'm doing. There's the two open strings. Okay, so now we're going to look at developing this idea. So coming from this chord, which was the chord from example number 1, 2nd fret of the D, 1st fret of the G, I'm going to take this and I'm going to play that 2nd fret. I'm going to go to the open on the D. I'm hitting the D string. Then I'm going to go to the 2nd fret of the A string to open on the A, 3rd fret of the E, and then the open E string. So that's the E minor pentatonic. I do that while I keep my index finger down. You don't have to, I think it sounds cool. So this is the move. So now I'm going to combine 1, a low E string, 3rd fret, chord, hopefully you have that chord by down, open on the D, 2nd fret of the A, open on the A, 3rd fret of the E, a little bit of bend, and then to the E. So that's the move. Now there's a lot, I want you to mess around with that. I don't want you to just, learn that, but then... Don't forget to include this note. Open on the D, 1st fret, sliding into the 2nd. That's not in the scale, but doing that. Now, a classical person might use their 1st finger and 2nd finger, and that gives you a certain sound. But I think in the blues, I would use the stronger finger. Now, here's another one, so I'm going to play open on the D, 2nd fret of the D, open on the G, to the 1st fret on the G. Then I'm going to play 2nd fret of the D and end it with the 3rd and the 0 on the low E. Because I want you to know that you can include that top part. Now of course you could go from here, the same chord that I was playing, 2nd fret of the D, 1st fret of the G, go to open G, 2nd fret of the G, open B, 2nd fret of the B, open E, 2nd fret of the B, or maybe so we kind of get that sort of thing going on there. So that's kind of how to get some scales into some of these moves. Now we're also going to learn a blues chord scale that I use a lot. So now I'm going to start by, first I'm going to hit the low E string because I do that on beat 1 most of the time. And I'm hitting the 2nd fret of the A string and the 2nd fret of the D string together. Then now I can go from open, these are the D, the A and the D open. With that. Now I'm going to go open on the G and the D. And I'm going to go to the 2nd fret of the G and D. So now I have this. Now I'm going to take this. I'm on the D and the G, 2nd fret, slide it up to the 3rd fret. Going to open on the B and the G. Then I'm going to go to the 2nd fret of the B and G. Now the next one, this is that I showed you this chord before. This is the 3rd fret of the B and the 4th fret of the G. So I have open on the G, 2nd fret on the G and B, 3rd and 4th fret on the G and B. Now to end this scale, you hit the open E and D together. Then you're going to hit the 3rd fret on the B and E, 1st and 2nd string. Of course, you can go to the 5th fret. You can probably sneak the 6th fret in. Now there's a couple little subtleties to this. So I'm going to take this chord with the G here. This is that chord I was using so many times before. 2nd fret of the G. I'm sorry, 1st fret of the G, 2nd fret of the D. Going from here to open G and B. This is a cross relation because you hear the G sharp and then you hear the G, but it gets the sound. It sounds like we're actually moving this. It's the same thing moved up a minor with it. Very bluesy. This is the 2nd fret and the 2nd fret. I'm on the B and G string. 3rd fret and 4th fret. We learned how to connect that. So those are some ideas on doing acoustic blues. So now I'm just going to kind of mess around and kind of mix with them 6. So I hope you got some ideas from this and your blues playing is going to be improved.